Okay, it's working. Anybody got another light? I can only have one up at a time.
I was going to send a message to the one that's still standing there, telling him he better go help his friend because he's in trouble. But I can't speak his language, but you can if you tell me how to say it.
Okay, so Maria will try to tell Terps how to say whatever needs to be said in Draconic.
You see the other kobold suddenly jump and look around, and then look after his friend, and then go hurrying after it.
Alright, let's go. Yuna's gonna follow after her.
No, so the Terps, quietly, she'll try to stealth.
Everybody rushes forward, and the two kobolds are over there looking at the shiny rock, and now they're fighting over it because it looks really pretty to them. And so everybody makes it inside the mine without apparently them noticing. You enter a dark tunnel following the remains of a crude cart rail. The tunnel goes straight back for about 50 feet before curving to the left in darkness. Kuntuny looks around and whispers, "Who can't see in the dark?"
Terps raises her hand.
Yuna's gonna cast light on her shield.
Kuntuny says, "Put that out."
Well, we can all see now.
Yeah, and we can be seen.
Alright, she'll end the spell. You have something else in mind?
Yes, who can't see?
At least two of us.
Kuntuny puts a hand on Terps and says, "Kapyo Makei," and then does the same to Yuna. And suddenly you both can see in the darkness, although everything's in black and white. You can only see as if it's dim light, but you can see.
How long does this last?
Long enough. Alright.
Mountain seems really happy to be underground.
The tunnel goes straight for about 50 feet, although only about 20 feet from where those people are now, before curving to the left.
Hold out his hand so the rest of the party can see it. One finger, circle gesture, then a closed fist, point to himself, then a forward motion, and he'll peer up to the corner and try to look around it.
Alright. You're trying to be sneaky. Let's do a stealth check, and then perception. Alright, you peek around the corner. You can move your guy forward so you can kind of see if you'd like. You see the tunnel opens up to the left to a cistern of clear water, and you can hear drip, drip, drip as water is kind of dripping down from the ceiling of the cave above. The tunnel continues straight, and somewhere up ahead you hear a loud grinding sound. And from there you can also hear the sounds of, I guess you'd call them voices. They sound more like high-pitched snarls.
Jim will use prestidigitation to create a... So he's going to reach down, touch the railing behind him, and draw a little glowing line, green on one side, red on the other, then move forward a little more. He'll wait to see if any of the party figures it out.
Yeah, we'll move up to where she can see around the corner.
Alright, stealth roll. Doing that again, we're going to take the first number, which is a 10. Alright, so you get around the corner, you see the same thing, you see the cistern off to the left.
Mountain wants to be up front. He will also try to move quietly.
Oh, that almost landed on the 18.
Instead, we
Mountain
got one.
tromps forward,
Bang, 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 clank!
steps right on Elric's light.
And just sort of turns and looks back to Mountain and kind of gives him a, "Dude, what the fuck?" kind of look.
Keep going, you two. Half this cave looks like a 90s VHS tape.
Again?
Okay,
For
as
stealth?
you go on past the cistern, you see behind this cart that's kind of sitting broken on the tracks, the tunnel starts to open up into a room. Kuntuny says, "There's someone up there." She puts her finger to her head and sends a message to Elric saying, "I can see the room above. There are kobolds in the center of it."
Jim thinks for a second and asks sort of softly to himself, "Can I answer back?"
And you hear her voice say, "Yes,
Okay, good. How many kobolds?
I see 2. She keeps casting it, but thank God it's a cantrip.
Where are they facing?
They're turning. All through this, you hear kind of a grinding sound. They seem to be on some sort of contraption that turns.
Pinky, wait here a second. Jim's going to move up here to the edge of the room.
All right. Do another stealth check.
Well, damn it.
So you step in, and the room is kind of lightened up because there's a light source from the ceiling that's kind of putting a warm glow on things. So the tunnel opens up to a large room, the center of which is dominated by an old mine cart turnstile. 4 very small creatures that look like, well, what you saw before, but actually much smaller, are standing on it. And from where you're standing, you can see a larger one right around the corner, standing by a lever. And as you watch, it pulls the lever, the turnstile swings so the rails match the set that you're following currently. The small creatures squeal in what now appears to be delight as it moves. Then you kind of scuff against the rail cart, and it's a bang! And they stop and they churn. And the little ones begin screaming. All laughter leaves the room as they begin to scramble in a panic towards the tunnel leading south. Kuntuny rushes forward and says, "Quick, we must slay them before they ruin the rest of the nest."
All right, here we go.
It will be noted that the smaller ones, from what you can tell, are probably children.
Oh, hell
Wait,
no.
wait. Those look like... They're so small. Are those their young, Kuntuny?
Looks like it. Hurry. She starts pointing a finger at one of them.
I will not kill children.
You can't be serious.
They're just vermin. They're just kobolds.
Are all of them that childlike size?
Well, except for the one that was pulling the lever, who's now rushing to stand between you and the smaller ones as they head towards the tunnel. So the bigger one is bravely inserting himself between you and the children.
Yeah, we're better than that.
She sighs and puts down her finger. Fine.
Maria, get over here. Try talking to them in that language. Tell them we don't want to hurt them, and especially not their young.
Maria's going to creep forward a bit, kind of peek around the corner there.
Well, since she's going slowly, the children have all rushed down the tunnel and have disappeared, and the adult is slowly backing away, but kind of hissing at you all.
And Maria will attempt to speak Draconic. Okay, we don't want to hurt you. We're just passing through. We're cool.
Persuasion with disadvantage.
And with disadvantage.
Nice. He looks at you hesitantly. Kind of tilts his head to the side, kind of like a dog. And then just kind of motions you forward, but is also backing away.
Maria will slowly slither forward a bit.
The kobold continues backing down the hall, but continues to motion you forward. There are a lot of them waiting for us now. And then she just starts walking.
Well, what do you want there, little lizard friend, kobold friend?
He's not just a friend now. He's got all his friends with him. Come on. She just walks forward.
Maria shrugs and will happily follow with, because, I mean, Kuntuny probably knows what she's doing.
You get to the entrance, or to the where the tunnel's going south, and indeed there are several kobolds there, all gripping weapons and looking at you nervously.
Hey, be cool. Be cool. Maria taps her chest. Is like, Maria. Motions her hand over the group. Is like, friends. Motions to herself, friend.
One of them in Draconic and says, "Why do you speak like a child?"
Well, Bring kind of stammers for a minute, and then it's like, sorry. I've never met your kind before. I didn't know if we spoke the same language, but...
What do you want?
Maria looks over at the others.
Meantime,
we're passing through.
Kuntuny sidles up to Elric and messages to him. There's 13 of them in there.
And form an offensive line here. If they charge, give Maria a chance to talk to them.
If they charge,
this choke point to give them a chance.
We're basically passing through this area to try to get to where the issues of the water are, right?
This is our home.
She's like, listen, we're just passing through. We're looking to help fix some water issues for one of our friends here. Is it cool if we just go past you guys, or do you know anything about some blockages with water or anything?
We know nothing about water. You just want to go right through our home? Do you let people just walk through your home?
Nope. That's why we're asking permission if we can just get on by you here. We don't want to cause no trouble.
You already have.
Please?
His eyes narrow.
Terps is going to speak up. Is there another way around your home so that we can get to, and she'll point to Kuntuny's, where her people are, so we don't disturb you?
He looks.
And she's speaking in comic.
Yeah. He looks at Kuntuny, and she lowers her hood, and he kind of looks taken aback. And he says, "You pay."
And you what?
Food.
Does anybody have any food?
What are they saying?
Or the shiny coin.
They want food. They want food or shiny coins.
How much?
How many?
Many. He holds up his hands in like about a foot apart.
Okay.
Well, she'll dig out her 3 electrum, 9 silver, and 6 copper and hold them like this.
More.
If they want food, what do they eat?
What do you eat?
Meat. Kuntuny rolls her eyes and steps forward and just starts speaking in a yipping sort of voice. And they all kind of take a step back. Or looks at you and says, "Just give them what you have in your hand there. It will be enough."
Terps will walk forward and pull what she's got in her hand, and that guy's outstretched hands or whatever.
He takes it, looks very doubtful, but they all kind of start backing away. You note that they back away in a way that is definitely protecting one of the tunnels. Kuntuny just shakes her head and starts walking.
Alright, let's go. Terps, we're gonna have to get you a different kind of shiny.
Why?
So that you don't keep giving things money.
She's like, this means... These things mean nothing to me, other than the fact that they make pleasant sounds. I like the little silver ones the best.
They may mean nothing to you, but they mean things to the person whose body you're in, and to the people of this world. They're useful.
Look at all the cool map stuff we just walked past and aren't doing anything with.
Well,
There's all tunnel holes. There's a room full of mushrooms. They could have done such cool shit.
Maria's just gonna kind of wave goodbye to the couple.
I was staring at my second monitor and didn't see where everybody.
Right and down.
I can't see where you are either.
There we go.
So at this end here, You see that the wall has kind of been broken down at some point, and there's loose rocks that kind of fill an opening. But Kuntuny just kind of pushes at him, and the really crappily built barrier just crumbles, and she steps through, and you're in just a cave tunnel. But it's roomy. It's clearly been, it's natural, but has been augmented by working hands. So it's 15 feet across and about 20 feet high. There's plenty of room to walk along it. And Kuntuny says, "Welcome to the Underdark."
That was quick.
Well, the Underdark does get close to the surface in places. Now remember, it's a strange and dangerous place. It's full of the magic of, I don't know what kind of magic. Strange and random things happen for no apparent reason. One day a cavern or room will be empty, the next day it'll be filled with treasure or a trap of some strange game. Scholars have researched it for months now. No one knows what pranks their entity may have done, whatever they did. In short, be prepared for everything.
If anyone sees anything that looks nonsensical, do let us know so that we can try it and circumvent it if possible.
Jim raises his hand.
Terps is just going to look at you, this is nonsensical. I think I should exclude myself from that.
Let's go. Okay, talking elephant, pink man, snake lady, centaur.
Okay, you got me there. More nonsensical than us.
Yeah.
Just gotta ask, how long did you spend putting this map together?
Well, I found it somewhere, so I didn't put it together. You see, it's powered by Zat battle maps. So I spent a long time trying to find good maps, but I didn't actually build it.
Fair warning, guys. On the way out, I'm going to deliberately piss off the kobolds, so we actually get to play in the playground.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
That actually went pretty well. Bria, Terps, Kuntuny, good job.
Thank you. Thank you very much for doing that.
Apparently I can speak.
Draconic.
I know how to... Draconic, that's kind of funky.
That's awesome.
Is that what I'm speaking? Or was speaking? Or was speaking?
Yes.
And I'm assuming it's the language of some people I haven't met yet.
Have you met any dragons?
I don't know what a dragon is.
Her soul wouldn't have met any, but maybe her body has. And if we do find any, as long as we're here, at least we have people to treat with them, which is also awesome. Kuntuny, are there any known dragons around these parts?
In the Underdark? Certainly. We won't be running into any of those. I hope.
I meant places around Sunder.
I don't know about where dragons are in the outer world.
Fair enough.
So as you're walking, she turned very with clear determination. The path went right and left. She clearly turned right, like she knows where she's going, and just leading the way down this tunnel. It kind of, isn't perfectly straight, but it goes mostly straight and downward. Kind of curves every now and then you see light ahead of you.
Okay, at each turn, Jim's going
not really
the arrow to the wall.
There haven't been any off turns yet, but I got you. When that does happen, you're marking your way out.
Yeah.
How long does that last?
Oh no, I meant just like with a sword.
Oh.
Just actually like carving.
Gotcha. So you come to a point where you see light ahead, a glow. And Kuntuny stops and says, "And so it begins. I wonder what it is this time."
You're our guide, so what do we got?
I don't know. Who's stealthy?
I'll go.
I am.
I am not.
I hadn't noticed.
Terps, Jim, why don't you go, but be extra careful.
You both sneak forward. The path doesn't deviate except for just a slight curve to the left and slightly downward. You get closer and closer to the light, and it's colored light. It's not just black and white. It's not like a firelight. Give me a perception check. Hey.
Oh boy. I'm rolling great tonight.
So Jim can faintly see what appear to be letters. Do you continue forward?
First, he's going to look to Terps and be like, no, Terps, don't look directly to the light. Terps, no. He'll sigh and he'll just keep walking forward.
She'll follow.
As you keep going forward, the light gets brighter, and now you're sure they're words. And at first, you can't quite make it out, but as you look at it, the letters seem to rearrange themselves and twist and bend themselves, and suddenly become words that you can read in giant neon-like letters hanging from the wall. That's right. You found an Underdark billboard.
Neat. Finally, signs of civilization.
She turns to Elric and starts to say something, then decides, never mind. I'll ask later.
Elric will go back to the rest of the group and signal them forward.
And Kuntuny says, what was it?
An advertisement.
Oh. The Blouse again?
Yep.
Alright.
Wait, so you've encountered this phenomenon before?
Well, you're familiar with the flies up top, right? The flying mice.
Yes. Yes.
Underdark has their own version. They call themselves the Blouse, even though really they're just bats. But they think they're funny. And they don't deliver like the ones up top. They sell things. And they sell things that they think are very important and amazing. So if you need a piece of string or a rock, that's the place to go. They are pests. She rolls her eyes.
So they call
passes the sign.
So they call themselves bat flying mice?
Bat. Yes, I guess I don't know what they think. They think they're funny.
To destroy the occasional portmanteau.
So you continue on.
Oh.
But bats are already flying mice.
That's why they think they're funny.
Exactly.
So you continue on. It's hard to tell time down here. The road continues to go downward. Every now and then, Kuntuny will take a turn. This is where you're making your marks. Sometimes the other passages do start opening up in different directions. Sometimes she continues going straight. Sometimes she turns. And then another spite of light are in front of you. And Kuntuny narrows her eyes and says, "It's a room."
Okay, drill.
All right.
Same. Going to do the same thing we did last time. Drill in this context means procedure.
Okay.
Stealth forward.
It is at this time that we really miss certain cats.
Yes, we do.
Well, the cat,
Terps is doing just fine, thank
the
you.
cat you still have is sneaking along. Even Jim barely notices she's there. But Jim, unfortunately, his sword, he's not quite used to carrying it yet, and it scrapes against the wall. You go forward, and the light grows brighter, and it seems this time it's more like firelight. And you can see a room, and the room appears to be just full of treasure. Gold scattered everywhere. Artifacts, gems, pieces of art. Do you want to continue forward?
Terps will look at Joe and say, it's one of those shiny things that are very nice. Why would somebody leave all this stuff here in a big pile?
Probably bait, or maybe random planar procedural generation nonsense. I don't know. Let's go back to tell the others.
Why don't you go back and I'll stay here in case things are changing. Maybe it'll stay the same since I'm still here.
Sure. Back to the team, look at Kuntuny and say, treasure room?
She frowns. Like a room full of treasure?
Big room full of treasure that I'm pretty sure is bait, but I don't really know how this place works.
Probably. This is what I was saying. Who knows what we might find in there, but the only way to get through is to go to it, so. Unfortunately, in the Underdark, if you're trying to get from one place to another, unless you want to spend weeks trying to go around it and finding other rooms just like this, if you see a trap, the only way to get through it is to spring the trap. So she starts walking forward.
Una will walk up to the edge of this treasure room.
Alright, you look in, and eventually you'll see what you see. This big room is just... It looks like it's been ransacked. There's gold all over the floors. There's a piece of broken pottery. Here, why don't I just read it? A room filled with artifacts such as gems, ancient pots, and weapons. Some are on pedestals, but most are scattered on the floor as if someone has ransacked it but left everything inside. A small golden statue of a dragon lay smashed by an empty pedestal, and at the end is a door. A large mirror leans against the wall on one side of the room. But you haven't gone inside the room yet, so you don't have more detail than that.
I'm pretty sure I've seen this movie before, and if we touch or take something, shit's gonna, like, blow up.
Even if we don't, for all we know, this stuff could turn into angry hornets any second, so we should really just ignore it all and keep going.
I don't know that we'll be able to, but we can try.
Kuntuny, do you know what this shit is?
Yes,
What's up with this place?
It's the Underdark. We'll find out when we get in the room. Does anyone here know how to look for traps?
Someone for that, but unfortunately we lost them.
Alright. We'll just have to take our chances then. And she just boldly walks in. Nothing
Falling Mountain, like, scrambles and tries to get back in front.
You get to the center of the room, and nothing happens. You don't seem to have sprung any traps or anything like that.
Chill for 10 minutes for cast detect magic.
You're surrounded by magic.
This shit's gotta be cursed.
Yeah, everything's magical. Kuntuny, I take it the entire Underdark is going to have some level of magic to it, so detect magic probably doesn't help all that much.
For things like this, you are correct. We don't know what kind of magic effect is causing all of this to happen, but it's very powerful. Look at the mirror.
Or don't look at the mirror.
She points, and do you look in the mirror? She's already looking in it, but...
Yuna's not looking in any mirror.
Maria's gonna have a very careful peek.
Mountain is going to see what happens to everyone else that looks in the mirror before he looks in the mirror.
In the mirror, you see a reflection of the room. But instead of the chaos, everything is carefully arranged. The dragon statue is unbroken and sitting on the pedestal. All the stuff is picked up and put away. It's the same room, but neat and tidy.
Huh?
What did you guys see?
It's this room again, but everything is neat and orderly instead of motions around this. The door, it doesn't appear to have a handle. It doesn't appear to have a keyhole. It's just kind of a metal slab against the far side of the room.
Those evil, wicked bastards. I know exactly what this is.
What is it?
We have to clean in order to escape.
Kuntuny narrows her eyes and
Maybe.
says,
Wait, who said what now?
Jim's speculating that to get through this room, we would need to clean it such that what's in this version of the room is the same as in its reflection.
Ta-da!
I mean, it's possible.
Or, alternative 2, we have to shake the mirror so the contents inside of it get shooken up and broken.
Mountain tries to poke the mirror.
it feels like a mirror.
And Maria will then very carefully, poke at some coins or whatever that might be lying around with her tail.
Nothing seems to happen.
Well, it's not a portal.
Is it possible to see the door in the mirror's reflection?
The entire room, including the door, is in the reflection, yes.
Did you say there was like a busted dragon statue somewhere?
Yes, there's a busted dragon statue. In the mirror, it's put together and on a pedestal. Which is not in this particular picture, because it's just the best picture I could find, so.
No, Terps is going to walk over to the... Is the statue really smashed, or is it just like knocked around from the pedestal?
It's in several pieces.
She's going to take a look at it and go, it's almost like one of those little guys got broken up. Oh, and they have wings. She'll start trying to put it together, because why not?
Well, yeah, that looks more like a dragon than a kobold.
As she reaches down and picks up the pieces, nothing happens.
You're a butt.
Yuna's going to approach the door, while looking at the door's reflection in the mirror, does the reflection show any kind of doorknob or anything else?
No. It just shows the exact thing that you see in your room. Except meter.
How big is the mirror?
Well, bigger than the one in this picture because it shows the whole room. So basically it covers a wall.
Jim's going to go over to the mirror and try to examine the room using it under the logic that whatever button opens the door is actually hidden under the piles of gold. You can't see it in this room because the gold's on top of it, but it might be visible in the mirror room.
Investigation check. Ooh, pretty nice. You see no such thing. Nothing that resembles any kind of lever or hidden switch, or even not so hidden switch, but just happens to be buried switch.
Okay, that's my go. Who's next?
We'll pick up a coin and throw it at the mirror.
It pings off the mirror and falls to the ground. It does not appear to hurt the mirror.
Maria is going to take a coin and go kind of up to the mirror and see if, is she reflected normally? Does the coin look normal?
You don't see a reflection. You just see the other room.
So when the coin was thrown against the mirror, they didn't see its reflection hit the mirror?
You can see yourselves in the mirror. So Maria sees herself going towards the mirror. But you don't see the coin that you threw at it. As far as I can tell, it was never there. It's like throwing it at a wall.
Coins aren't being reflected in that mirror.
After Terps finishes putting the little dragon back together, she'll walk over the mirror, take a look at it.
Before we say you're finished putting it together, how are you making it stick?
She's going to set it down piece by piece until it's standing up if possible.
It's like a 3D thing, so first give me a dex check. Takes a little while, but you're able to assemble it, but without something to make it stick. It just crumbles back together as soon as you take your hands off of it.
Okay, just want to see what it looked like.
Kuntuny comes up to you and says, "If you hold it there, I might be able to help."
Okay, she'll hold it.
Put it back together again, and as you're holding it, she starts doing mend on the little pieces. So while that's going to take a while, so while those two are doing that, what are the rest of you doing?
Maria's also going to try and tidy up a bit while she explores. Maria's going to try to follow the guideline in the mirror then and tidy things up.
All right.
Yena's going to pick up another coin, and she's going to turn it so that the light in this room should glare off the coin onto the mirror. See what happens.
As far as the mirror is concerned, the coin does not exist. It's reflected in the room, and like on the walls and ceiling, but the mirror doesn't even notice it.
Jim will study the mirror in the room and try and make an inventory of all the objects that exist either in the room, either in the mirror, and look for any that are missing from either one. So, like, room A has something that room B doesn't.
All right, do an investigation check.
Maria will also keep people apprised of what's going on about.
As far as you can tell, it's scattered about and or broken, but it seems to be pretty equal, although it's kind of hard to tell because it looks like some of the coins are there are two chests, and in them they're both open in the mirror, and you can see a pile of gold in each one.
But the chests are not open in the real room?
One of them is, the other one's not.
Jim will go over and open the chest that isn't open.
It is empty.
Anything in the other one?
Nope, it's also empty.
Okay, anyone else have any ideas?
Yena's going to grab up armfuls of treasure and start putting them into one of the empty chests that's near Jim.
So which treasures are you picking up? Just everything randomly, or
do
you have any kind of pattern or?
No, just everything within reach.
All right. So you sweep up some coins, you sweep up some bars of gold, you sweep up a couple pieces of artwork, you toss it all in there.
And she'll keep going until the until the chest is full.
All right.
So idea 1, we have to clean the room. Idea 2, we have to break the mirror.
I was about to say, when they finish putting the dragon statue together, Terps is going to walk over to it, tap it with a claw, then shift to centaur and back up and lash at it with a
Wait!
Strength. You slam into it with your hooves. It doesn't seem to notice. It makes kind of a clang sound, but there's no indentation, there's no cracks. The mirror doesn't seem to be broken.
Terps, do you have some issue with glass? I mean, first there was the window on Kuntuny's house. Yeah, Kuntuny, that was her, by the way. And now the mirror, like, what's going on here, Terps?
Oh, it looks like it's breakable.
Okay,
Maybe
just
it's a door.
from now on, don't do that until the group has agreed to it.
It is breakable, but it'll also hurt you.
Thinking of notes on the other walls, like writing or anything like that?
No.
Well, since that dragon statue is complete, but at this point, has its reflection in the mirror changed at all?
No.
Okay.
Well, maybe we really do have to clean the place up.
Okay, so proposal. We do everything we can to make this room match that room, and we try to think of other ideas or look for other things as we're digging through.
Sounds good to me.
So it's hard to tell again in this darkness, or underground, exactly how much time has passed. But eventually, all the gold coins are picked up, and everything's picked up, and the room looks neat and tidy. Nothing else happens. You can do an investigation check.
Looking at the mirror from the side, does it look like there's any sort of gap between the mirror and the wall?
No, it is flush with the wall.
Okay.
Falling Mountain is bad at investigation, surprising nobody.
Between the three people have rolled, Jim has rolled high enough to notice that the room in the mirror is not exactly the same. The room you're in is now clean, but there's a couple pieces of artwork that are not where the mirror shows them.
We go to the chest where Yuna put the artwork earlier, dig it out, and hang them as the room shows.
And as you straighten up the last one, the door swings open. Dun dun dun.
That was stupid.
I know.
I honestly thought it was pretty awesome. Frankly, if I didn't have a completely sarcastic way of thinking about everything in life, I never would have guessed that was the
So wait, we cleaned it up and it finally opened?
You just had to make it match exactly what it showed in the mirror.
Okay, so presumably then if we take something and keep it, the room will be locked again.
Do you want to try to take something and keep it?
No.
Off the record then, if you tried that, the spikes would come out of the ceiling and crush you. So, probably not the best idea.
Wait, seriously?
Yep.
Yep, sounds about right.
What kind of eldritch room transforming magic wants us to be maids?
Kuntuny just shakes her head. I told you.
I mean, it's a good thing we've watched Indiana Jones, is all I'm saying.
Clearly, the gods have a sense of humor. There is literally no other explanation for the platypus.
I don't know what that is, but I can't disagree with you. Once you go through the doorway, you look back, it's just an empty cave room. It's all gone.
I knew of a girl with wild yellow hair. She wore a red dress when she went anywhere. Her eyes were like diamonds, her smile was like life. I'd have done anything to make her my wife. But war came a-knockin', I answered the call. For kingdom and king, I gave it my all. When I returned home, I found she had gone. She left our small town to lands far beyond. Now I am searching for my maiden fair. I've looked high and low, I've gone everywhere. No witness or rumor in tavern or hall. It's as if she never existed at all.
All right. So you're going through this weird version of the Underdark. Probably not like any Underdark you've seen before. And you came across the next room, which just is full of sand for about 60 feet. And Yuna tried testing it. Tried to test it by putting a dagger in it. And the dagger went in easily, but did not come back out easily. In fact, it's still stuck in there, very, very slowly sinking. As you look at it, the hilts are now covered, but the handle's still sticking up.
So it's about 60 feet across. Is it like filling up that whole space? Is there a path around it?
Investigation check. Well, it looks very sandy all the way around.
Door or an exit on the other side of the room?
Yes.
There are stalactites.
Whichever ones come from the ceiling.
Yes, stalactites.
Okay, I can think of 3 possible solutions to this puzzle.
What would those be?
Well, first one is we have to actually deliberately sink through the sand in order to go to the hidden door. 2, there are panels hidden beneath the sand that are the safe spots to stand in, sort of like Indiana Jones in the name of God. And 3, it's a form of a pressure issue. If we spread our weight out enough, we won't sink.
Maria thinks. Kind of checks their bag or something here.
Don't step on the keyboard, please.
Realizes probably like everybody, they've got rope hanging around. Like, yo, so if I hold on to the end of this rope and slither my ass out over that sand, maybe we can test out some of the... see what the drop rate here is.
But then if you sink and you stick like the other ones, we can't pull you out in your bed.
Yeah, I don't like that one.
Alright, just a second. I love you, Chloe. This is why I always kick you out of the room.
Someone's being evicted.
I don't suppose anybody has a collapsible ladder.
Why, yes, I carry one of those around with me all the time. Kuntuny just kind of looks at you with a sort of disdainful look.
I
No,
mean,
but I might start.
I mean, to be honest, it doesn't sound like a bad idea. Huh.
I have mason's tools.
I mean, you could probably carve some steps around this bad boy, but that'd take a while.
There aren't any stalagmites on the floor picking up all the sand, right? It's just sand.
That is correct.
There's like we can attach ropes if we can get them up there and we can swing across.
Anybody have a 10-foot pole?
I have a pot, a shovel, and he holds up a pretty piece of rose quartz. But I don't think this will help anyone.
Wait, you have a shovel?
Well, yeah.
Try digging up the sand, see what happens.
I mean, I suspect it might just get stuck. But sure, it's worth a try, because it's magic, and that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Terps will hold up the quarterstaff. I have the spear without a point on it.
Yeah, Terp's staff is about 10 feet, actually.
But Mountain will indeed take the shovel and try to dig up the sand.
Alright, the shovel goes in easily. You try to take out a scoop. Strength check.
Oh, okay. I mean, I should be able to do that. Like, come on.
Famous last words.
Why? Why?
You're just able to pull out the shovel. But if you want to scoop it, are you trying to scoop it or just pull it out, I guess is the question. If you're trying to scoop it, then it does not work. It's stuck.
I think he was mostly just trying to see. He's like, can he remove it at all?
All right. If he's just trying to remove it, he's able to. It's like you know, like there's a vacuum pulling on the other side. But you're able to go, and it comes out.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to work very well.
But you have to make the sound when you're trying to pull it out, remember?
He will grunt manfully, but I'm not going to, you know, emulate that.
Let's do the Tim Allen.
Okay, so you were able to get your shovel out, whereas I've lost my dagger. What did you feel?
I felt like it sucked, literally and figuratively.
So you felt like it was actively pulling on your shovel?
He just sort of looks at you, know, looks at the shovel, looks at the sand, looks at his own muscles, and looks back to Yuna as if this should be obvious. I would like to remind you all that he's very muscular and also very shirtless at all times.
Maria appreciates it.
At least we know that this stuff can be overcome. So that's at least something.
If we could get a rope to the other side on something, but I don't have a hook. Mountain takes out a book and writes down grappling hook ladder.
Aha! She does have a tangle grenade.
A what?
Where in the world did you get a tangle grenade?
I don't know, but it's in my equipment, so I have a tangle grenade.
Nice.
I think it was one of those things that we managed to pick up. In fact, I have 2 tangle grenades as part of a common adventuring gear, so I'm assuming I just picked it up. And throw it at a point up to 6 feet away. Every creature within 10 feet of shattered tangler must make a DC 15 dexterity save or be restrained by sticky white webs. They dissolve on their own after 1 hour. So in theory, she could attach it to a rope, or one of them could, and end, without thinking you have 60 feet of rope to have 50 feet. Attach 2 ropes together, throw that over and have it stick, but then we just have a tightrope to walk across, which I don't think people are really happy about.
Well, it doesn't have to be a tightrope. We could hang upside down from it and just climb across with our back scraping the sand. That would be much easier.
Which goes back to her, okay, let's just put a rope on, a couple ropes on stalactites and swing across.
So yeah, is there like a bottom?
Terps, could you put your staff in there and try to feel for a bottom of the sand?
She'll eyeball Yuna. If I lose my spear, then I have to get another later. But she'll walk up and start pushing it down.
It goes in very easily.
Well, she'll push it down until there's about a foot left up the top.
9 feet of it is in, and it does not appear to be stopping.
And she'll just twist her head and look at Yuna. It doesn't appear to have a bottom.
Okay,
she'll
that's...
pull the staff back up.
Yeah.
Strength check.
Mountain, help her with that, please.
Mountain will help.
With advantage.
She's got a strength of 17. How high is Mountain's strength?
More than that.
Why is everyone... No, you don't roll, Ambro, just her.
Okay. But I like my pink dice. Everyone has to look at them.
Yeah, it is stuck.
I think Turp's got a 16 along with plus her strength bonus.
No, she got a 13 according to this.
Oh, I was...
Strength it's a 13 and a 12.
Yeah, it would have been better if Mountain had been rolling, but that's okay.
Well, you don't need to roll to use the help action, so could we also apply Mountain's roll of 17 to that?
Well, that's not the way it works. You get, if somebody helps, then it's with advantage. It's not a double roll.
It's not a double, yeah.
So
I mean, he could just go over and make his own attempt.
Yes, you can make your own attempt, but the DC will go up.
Well, it's worth a shot. He will feel silly if he doesn't try.
Absolutely. And if you want to help also Terps, you can do it with advantage. Or he, because he's the guy.
Come on, dice. Why do you do this?
Sure, she'll help him since he helped her.
Really, Dice? Really?
With an 18, you're able to reclaim half the pull.
Does it break or something?
Nope, the rest of it's still stuck in there. You gotta try again. But now the DC has gone down because it's not all the way in there.
Alright, he's going to try again.
Is Terps helping again?
Sure. She wants her spear back. Her purple spear.
A luck roll. Oh, darn. It pops out suddenly. And you kind of stumble back. But fortunately, you don't lose your balance and fall into the sand yourself.
So, did they get the spear out?
They did. He pinwheels comically
Okay.
and everybody ducks as the 10-foot pole is waving around all over the place. Ah!
Yes. Or it might have just gone flying behind him. Not back into the sand, because that would have been depressing.
Thus Excalibur was pulled for the sand, making Holy Mountain the future king of the Underdark.
I don't want it.
That.